welcome to the Book of Enoch. We're going through the Book of Enoch verse by verse to get a better understanding of what it'll be like in the days of Noah. This is the best example we have on us. And one thing I'll say is I'm always filming these from a cave. As I prayed about doing this series, you know, it's going to take years, but God said do it from a cave, so here we are. For whatever the reason that is, I don't need to know, but we are here. And where we're at is God is divvying out the punishment, and he just talked about why it's a problem for the angels or the watchers to lay with women and give rise to a race of Nephilim. And we're just going to pick it up there, starting in chapter 15, verse 11. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And those spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. So I'm going to pause there for a second, because what we're looking at here is the giants afflicted, oppressed, destroyed, attacked, do battle, work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And this is kind of the part where we read earlier, where they literally started, when they enslaved mankind, caused mankind to produce for them, and when mankind could not keep up, they ate mankind, is what Enoch says. And so they take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. And this is, you know, this is really ultimately that battle, that you know, I don't even want to really call it a battle, just a mutilation, just a roundup of humans, destroying humans. And obviously they do battle, because they're going to destroy each other ultimately, kill each other is what God said. But right now, these spirits are rising up against the children of men and against women, because they have proceeded from them. You know, so ultimately what God's saying here is that, you know, these giants, you know, yeah, they proceeded from watchers, but they're here on the earth because they proceeded from men. Meaning the watchers laid with women and gave rise to, you know, their spirits were born on this earth, so this earth is their dwelling place until they are dead. And this is really the problem. God is saying, because these because these Nephilim and these giants have proceeded from men here on the earth, their spirits were born here on the earth. The spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger, thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. This is the problem. You know, we talked last episode about the problem with angels laying with women and giving rise, because their spirits are born in heaven. Whereas in women's spirits are born here on earth. Their dwelling place is heaven. Our dwelling place is earth. So when they impregnate women, their dwelling place is not here. This is a major problem. They were meant to live forever. Their children will not. They were meant to live forever. Their wives will not. This is why God looks at this and calls it evil. But beyond that, they gave race to these spirits that were born of men and women that mutilated mankind. They were literally spirits that rose up against humanity because they proceeded from humanity. We have to really wake up to understanding, you know, we live in a culture of sex, and this culture, you know, it's the same thing. Those angels, they lusted after women. They didn't say they longed to have children. They lusted after sexual affliction with these women. And then they engaged in sex with these women because they lusted after it. And now there's consequences. They live forever, and they're going to live imprisoned in a hole in the earth forever. Their children are going to kill each other. Their wives are going to die. This is the consequence of their sexual immorality. And we have to understand, you know, when God is against sexual immorality, there's a good reason for it. It's not just a little thing. This is a big deal, and this is an example of why it is a big deal. Because when God says don't engage in these sexual activities, and then the watchers do, well, what's the product? And let's go back to 10. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But for the spirits of the earth, they were born upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. And guess what? That DNA line is still here. It's still here. Much of what Enoch talks about and what Jude talked about when Jude prophesied about Enoch, Enoch's prophecy, Jude said, they are still among us. They're still here. Those things that Enoch prophesied about, they're still here. How did they stay here? Through Noah and his sons and their wives, their DNA and their bloodline. You know, just because the giant feature of DNA isn't showing itself doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And you have to know that spirits of principalities are communicating with these Nephilim and empowering them so that they can dominate the earth just like the first Nephilim did in the days of Noah. Well, what will they do? What will this new race do to us in the end times? Well, they will afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. This is the wickedness of this. This is the consequence of this. It had consequences then, it has consequences now, and it's going to have consequences in the end times. And these are the consequences of it, is that they proceeded from us here on. They proceeded from man on earth. Their spirits are born on the earth. This is where they dwell. This is their dwelling place, literally. And these are the things we have to open our eyes to. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight on this, definitely put it below. I do want to take a moment and say that most people watch this channel, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, and never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.